One of the biggest lies people tell themselves after divorce is, I'm ready to date. I'm ready to go. No, you're not. Not always, not usually. Sometimes you're just lonely and horny. You ain't dead. Sometimes you've been traumatized. Sometimes you're just desperate not to be alone. Sometimes you're drinking too much. Sometimes you're trying to replace pain instead of heal it. I get it. First thing I need to say is that I am remarried happily to the most amazing woman, the entire woman, my Colombian Sandra wife. I regret nothing. Here's a story I think will relate to a lot of Gen X. Years ago, the perfect woman showed up in my life. Totally serious. She was gorgeous, tiny, long blonde hair, successful, stable. She had a great job, owned her own home, had money saved, had retirement, Social Security, 401k, no major drama, no chaos, no fighting. Maybe the most important thing, she was genuinely kind to me. She cared about me. She loved my dog Wolfie, would have done anything I asked her to do, anything. And physically, honestly, outside of my wife Sandra now, was probably the best natural fit I've ever had. We dated about 6 months. It was very close to the time after my divorce. We almost never fought. She wasn't toxic. She didn't scream. She didn't manipulate. No games. Just peace. Dinner, movies. Simple conversation. We laughed, held hands, walked. We had a normal, beautiful life. And I completely destroyed it. Not because she cheated, not because she lied, not because she hurt me. She didn't do any of that. I destroyed it because I was still broken from my divorce and separation from my first wife. I hadn't healed, hadn't done the work, dealt with the trauma, dealt with my anger, dealt with my sobriety. And then one night we were drinking, watching TV. I got absolutely shit-faced drunk, blackout drunk, passed out maybe an hour, woke up angry, confused. I blacked out, started yelling at the top of my lungs. I threw her out of the house, not one reason. I was so loud, the neighbors called the cops. I still remember the look on her face. I will forever be scarred by that. Remember her face, shocked, confusion, fearful of me. She was this big. That is one of the biggest regrets of my life. Let me tell you something. I am in the best marriage of my life. Hands down, I love Sandra. I wouldn't change her for $10 million, more than life itself. It's not about wanting another woman. This is about accountability. Because looking back, should have told her the frickin' truth. Should have said, I'm not healed yet. I need some therapy. I need some rehab for my alcoholism. I'm not emotionally safe yet. I'm on fire, still drowning in pain. And you know what? I am 90% sure she would have waited, paid for my rehab, took care of my dog. That's the part. Good people will usually wait for you if you're honest. But broken people aren't honest. I was a liar. I lied every second of my life. We minimize what's going on, pretend you're fine. You start dating, you just want to have sex with an attractive person. And then you take that damage that you haven't dealt with and you give it to them. Here's a present. Please listen to me. This is what happens when you refuse to do the work before you start over. You can meet the perfect person, literally, but you can still destroy the relationship because you ain't ready. That's why healing matters. That's why you work on yourself first. That's why therapy matters. Sobriety matters. Accountability matters. You spent 30 years being unhappy. You can't spend the next 30 happy if you're not fixed. At least get started. If you don't fix what's broken inside of you, eventually it spills onto everyone you love. They don't deserve that. If you're starting over like me, please follow along. Type I'm in. Let me know that you're in with me. And if you want some accountability while rebuilding, having somebody hold your hand while you start that, reach out to me at erichobaugh@gmail.com. My email is down below. Pulling for you guys. I know we can do it. We got to get our stuff together, Gen X. I'll see you on the next one.